Welcome back to History of Simple Things. Today's topic comes from one of our viewers, Colin King Ola. Thanks for the suggestion. You asked why Americans don't dry clothes outside but the rest of the world does. Step outside in many parts of Europe, Asia, Latin America, or Africa, and you might see a familiar sight. Shirts swaying in the wind, bed sheets stretched under the sun, and clotheslines strung across balconies, rooftops, or backyards. For much of the world, drying clothes outdoors is ordinary, practical, and almost automatic. The sun is free, the wind does the work, and for centuries, this was simply how laundry was done. But in the United States, something curious happened. Despite having sunshine, open space, and a long history of using clotheslines, many Americans today rely almost entirely on electric or gas-powered dryers. In some neighborhoods, hanging laundry outside is even discouraged, or outright banned. That raises a strange question. Why would a country with so much space and sunshine choose a machine over free air and sunlight? And why did America, unlike much of the world, become so attached to the clothes dryer? Let's explore, right here, on History of Simple Things. The answer begins with history, and surprisingly, with prosperity. After World War II, the United States experienced a massive economic boom. Suburbs expanded, new homes were built, and with them came a flood of modern household appliances. Washing machines, refrigerators, dishwashers, and especially clothes dryers became symbols of convenience and progress. Owning appliances wasn't just practical, it represented modern living. While much of the world still line-dried clothes out of necessity, many American families embraced the dryer as a way to save time and reduce labor. Manufacturers marketed dryers as liberating, especially to homemakers, promising less work and faster laundry. Over time, machine drying became not just an option, but the default. Climate also played a role, though maybe not in the way you'd expect. People often assume warm weather means easy outdoor drying, but the United States has highly varied conditions. In humid regions, clothes can take a long time to dry outside. In cold northern winters, line drying can be impractical or impossible for months. In suburban life, where laundry routines were built around convenience and predictability, a dryer offered something the weather never could: consistency. Rain, snow, pollen, dust, or sudden storms didn't matter. Put clothes in the machine, press a button, and they're dry in under an hour. For a culture increasingly centered on speed and efficiency, that mattered. But one of the most overlooked reasons has nothing to do with weather or technology. It has to do with image. In many American suburbs, especially during the mid-20th century, clotheslines started to be associated with poverty or lower social status. Visible laundry in the yard was sometimes seen as messy, unattractive, or a sign a neighborhood was less upscale. Homeowners associations, or HOAs, in some communities even created rules restricting outdoor clotheslines to maintain what they considered a cleaner neighborhood appearance. That idea sounds strange in countries where balconies filled with drying clothes are perfectly normal, but in the U.S., aesthetics often shaped habits as much as practicality did. The dryer didn't just become convenient, it became culturally respectable. There's also the matter of housing design. Many American homes, especially suburban houses, were built with dedicated laundry rooms, basements, or utility spaces designed around washers and dryers. In contrast, apartments in many other countries were often smaller, with balconies or shared outdoor areas that naturally encouraged air drying. Once homes are designed for machines, behavior follows. If your house has a built-in dryer hookup, using the dryer feels natural. If your apartment has a balcony rail, hanging clothes feels natural. Architecture quietly shapes everyday choices. Another factor is fabric care, though opinions differ. Many Americans believe dryers make clothes feel softer and towels fluffier. Dryer sheets and heated tumbling became part of the laundry experience. In other parts of the world, people may accept slightly stiffer line-dried fabrics as normal, or even prefer the fresh scent of sun-dried clothes. Interestingly, sunlight can naturally help disinfect and brighten fabrics, something science has long recognized. But in American culture, the softness and convenience associated with machine drying often won out. Energy costs also help explain the difference. In some countries, electricity is expensive enough that running a dryer regularly would seem wasteful. Air drying isn't just tradition, it's economics. In the United States, historically lower energy costs made frequent dryer use easier to justify. When the cost of convenience feels small, habits can become deeply ingrained. And once millions of households own dryers, replacing that habit becomes difficult. But it would be wrong to say Americans never dry clothes outside. Some do, especially in rural areas, environmentally conscious households, or places with right-to-dry laws. In fact, several U.S. states have passed laws limiting bans on clotheslines, pushing back against homeowner association restrictions. There's been a growing recognition that line drying saves energy, reduces wear on clothing, and cuts utility bills. Environmental concerns have also revived interest. A clothes dryer can be one of the biggest energy users in a home, and for some people, hanging laundry outside no longer looks old-fashioned, it looks smart. So why do Americans often dry clothes inside while much of the world uses the sun and wind? It's not because outdoor drying doesn't work. It's because history, culture, economics, and ideas about modern living push the United States in a different direction. What seems like a simple laundry habit is actually a story about technology, status, and the values societies build into everyday life. And maybe the next time you hear a dryer humming or see sheets fluttering on a line, you'll realize you're not just looking at laundry, you're looking at two very different ways of thinking about convenience. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.